Welcome back to another video of the Hockey Nation Live Show. Today, it's all about the New York Islanders. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back to the Hockey Nation Live Show booth. This is your hockey coach guru, Coach Frenchy, back in the booth. And today we're going to talk about the New York Islanders. We know they got eliminated a couple of days ago by the Tampa Bay Lightning in 7 games by a score of 1-0. It was really hard for players, staff, coaches, and all the organization of the New York Islanders to losing by a score 1-0. And of course, at the game number 7, you can see after the game during the press conference, to see the behavior, the body language of those players was completely discouraged, frustrated. They have no word to describe their deception of the end of the season that way. What it was worse, they lost the game by a goal on PK. During the time there was a power play, Yannick Gourde scored the only goal during that game on PK, and also Valema was amazing in front of the net. So that's what's happening. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to tell you a little bit more what is next for them, what I think they're going happening for the New York Islanders, what they have to do, or also what they cannot do. Because, of course, the salary cap is really high, and they are really limited by what kind of move they can do. So let's dive in right away about the situation. I know it's a big graphics, and I'm going to go from the top to the left to the right, so you can follow a little bit more with me about that. First of all, their record is 32-17-7, and they finished 12 overall in NHL. They have an amazing, great year. Unfortunately, they struggled in the last 10 games of the season with 3-7-0, and they dropped from the top of the East Division to finish 4th. So during the playoff, they lost, of course, in the round number 3 and the semifinal conference against the Tampa Bay Lightning. This was their second year back-to-back to losing on the semifinal conference, and both the time again Tampa Bay. Last year they lost in 6. This year they lost in 7. First they beat, of course, at the beginning round number 1 and round number 2. They beat 2 solid teams, the Boston Bruins, in round number 2. And then finally, they beat the beginning of the playoff, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Their power plays during the year, they was 20.4. That's pretty good. And their playoff power play was 18.8, almost what they got during the season. The penalty kill is not 18.8, it's 74.5. And their season, it was 65.1 during the playoff. So they struggle a little bit more on the PK. That's something they have to get better if they are coming back next year with their situation. They go to playoff. They cannot win any game or a Stanley Cup if they have only a 65.1 on PK. The hockey operation, of course, is still Lou Lamoriello. He was also the winner for the second year back-to-back, the manager of the year in NHL. And then finally, of course, what we can say more, maybe not the best, maybe the best 3 coach in NHL is Barry Trotz. I'm pretty sure we're returning with the team next season. The pending UF3 right now is Kyle Palmieri, Travis Zajac, Casey Zizekas, and finally Andy Green. So all 3, Green, Palmieri, Zajac, came for the organization, the New Jersey Devils. Palmieri, Zajac got traded at the deadline this year to come for the New York Islanders. And that will be very interesting. What my expectation with that part? Palmieri, for me, I think he's coming back in Devils. He's a New Yorker, like to stay in the area. I don't see now. A lot of money. Islanders don't have a lot of money. I expect him to get about $5 million. I'm not sure they will sign him. He didn't have a great year. He had a better playoff. But this year, he didn't have a great year. So I'm not sure if they will bring him back. They pay a lot of things for get those 2 players. First round pick and a couple more picks. So hopefully one of the 2. Zajac to come back, very low cost, under $2 million. They will maybe send him back for 1 more year for sure. Zizikas, that's the big no, that's the big thing right there. He can again a guy play 4 line for them, very solid with between Martin and Clutterback, and they can afford to pay him $3 million. I'll be very surprised if he's back with the team next season. Andy Green, it would depend all on him if he wants to play again one more year in hockey. He will be back with them. If not, I'm pretty sure he'll be retired. Now, the situation for the pending UFA, but it's a pending RFA. It's a Bouvier, Pellet, Sorokin, and Bellows. Bellows have not managed negotiation about that. Sorokin is going to get more money. Pellet is going to get more money. And Bouvier also, two best important piece of the puzzle of the New York Islanders. And that was shrimp their salary cap. And that's the reason I said I'm not sure they have enough money to sign Palmieri. For the 22 years old younger, for the organization right now, the best they have right now is Oliver Wahlstrom and Noah Thompson. Both of them play with them this season. Good year, both of them, more experience. I think they'll be ready again to play better next season. We know Wahlstrom did not play during the playoff with injury. The 32 years old older are Clutterbuck, Komarov, Matt Martin, Travis Zajac, and Andy Green. The last two are UFA, and then the top three, they pay a lot of money for them to get them, and all three of them, they are supposed to be the bottom six, so we'll be interesting about that. If ever Zizikas leave, I believe Komarov is going to be the one play between Clutterbuck and Matt Martin. The coach tips, what I want to say to you is this part over there. Is I think they have to resign Zizikas. They will need a left wing and a RD, and of course to rebuild their draft, where their draft is not strong at that moment for the prospect coming up. So it'll be interesting what the Islanders going to do about that one over there. And of course, the loss of Ender Lee completely changed the way the Islanders. Imagine Ender Lee at around number 3. I think they would beat Tampa Bay, I believe. But again, we cannot go with if, right? The scorer best season this year is Matthew Barzal, 45 point and 55 games. It's a team don't have a lot of offensive, to be honest with you, right? So they have to get better get more offensive for next season. The playoff situation, Matthew Barzal have 14 point and 19 games. The goal situation, playoff season, I think Valama have an amazing, great year this year. Listen, they have 35 game this year, have 19, 11, 4, 2.04, save percentage of 929, great year. And then almost the same thing on the playoff, 14 game, 7-7, 2.56, a little bit high, point save percentage again, still over 9.2 and 9.22. The expansion draft now for Seattle, I expect two things. I was not sure. I put Lady here, but it could be a decision between him and Manfield. So it'll be interesting to see what the Islanders is going to do. But I expect also Clutterbuck, Komarov, and Martin on the expansion draft. But I don't see Seattle pick up one of the three there because the money situation could be a problem. They have a high around $3 million, the salary cap. So I'm not sure if the Seattle, I think if they pick one, it would be more the defense players between Lady and Manfield. The salary cap situation for at that moment is completely updated. $55 million right now, $713,000 is $7,334. So that's what the situation. The cap space is about 5.7, almost $8 million, $6 million, sorry. And the roster size is only 17 players at that moment. They have all year long their long-term injury list. Boychuk, $6 million. That gave them a bit open up. But still, they spent $5.6 million on the dead salary cap. So they're losing every year right now, 5.6. That's not good. We still have one more year to go with land. And so that's another thing to struggle for one more year for sure. They have no first-round pick draft this year. They gave away to the New Jersey Devils, and they have only a sixth-round pick from each one. The next second, third, fourth, 5, and 6 overall pick, round pick on each round. So that's what they have only this year. Their prospect is not big, guys. They don't have only two players we can mention here. Both Wald is a defenseman, and Simon Wallstrom is a right wing. If you evaluate all the prospect team one by one, the Islanders right now are 27 in NHL at the bottom. So it's what happened a lot when you win year after years. You have to make some trade at the deadline, and the injury Anders Lee changed completely everything. They have to trade for Palmieri and Trajek. Finally, the last 3 seasons, the New York Islanders lost the last 2 years, this year, last year, and semi-conference finals, both against Tampa Bay Lightning, and the year prior, they lost in the second round in the playoffs. So that's concluded, guys, a little bit what's going on with the New York Islanders. And my takeaway of this, first, they have a great, great year. We have to give them credit. They struggle after they lost their captain, Anders Lee. That's a big puzzle, the first line with Puzzle and Eberle. I'll be honest with you. The offensive, it's not good enough to play with the best of the best. I think they will need someone who score 20, 25 goals to help in Basel. The good news, the salary, don't have any player over $7 million, but they pay too much the bottom 6, and that's make them in the bad situation about that. Would be interesting what they're going to do with Zajac and Palmieri. That's the third thing about that. And then how much money they're going to give to Beauvillier and Pelech. That's the reason exactly what's going on with the salary cap. Do you expect trades during summer? I don't think so. Like a big impact trade, like a big, I don't think so. But they're going to look around, maybe change, maybe the bottom 6. I think they need a little bit more money somewhere. So it will be interesting. Who's going to lose on expansion, Leedy or Manfield? That's what I'm thinking. So that's conclude the New York Islanders situation for the off season. And please don't forget to subscribe to and also to leave comments. What do you think about the New York Islanders? If you are a fan or if you are a good subscriber of the Hockey Nation Live Show, that'd be great to leave your comments and then click on the likes. And finally, of course, like we do at the end of each video,
you are awesome. You are amazing. You are the best. And remember, you have greatness inside of you.
Thank you so much for watching another great video of the Hockey Nation Live Show. Look forward to see you next time. Bonsoir mes amis, on se reparle un peu plus tard.